Yeah, that's what he did.
What do you do? He used to, like, for a day off, he used to get up early, he'd go off to the desert and he'd ride his motorcycle there.
Yeah.
What do you do if it's a day just
I actually
for time?
my wife gave me one of his Indian motorcycles that he put together.
And you still ride it?
Oh, I ride the Indian, yeah, it's great.
And so what do you do for a day off? If you've got a day off and you don't have to do a show like this, you don't have to promote a movie, you're not actually filming, you're not developing an idea, you're not even with the family. If there's a day off where it's just a Tom Cruise day, this is the day for you, OK? You can do whatever you want. Yeah. You could stay at home, you could watch whatever you want on TV. You get a box set of Sex and the City out, whatever. No one's going to judge you, Tom. OK? You can go out, you can go to the cinema in disguise if you want. You eat as much pick and mix as you want.
Yeah, you know what? I'd watch a little football. You know?
American football?
Yeah. Go fly an airplane, do some aerobatics.
You go fly your own airplane?
Yeah.
Already we're having very different days here, aren't we?
I'd go to the racetrack and, ride some motorcycles and play around.
So it's a very active, you like
I like
being
hiking, I like acting, I like climbing, I like hiking, I like doing stuff like that.
How many press-ups could you do in one go, do you think?
I have no idea.
Nor me.
Don't ask me to do press-ups.
I'm just curious.
I have no idea.
I'm just curious.
None.
I'm just curious.
None. How many can you do?
I do many. At least 7 or 8 proper ones.
7 or 8 right in a row?
The ones where if you've got to touch your nose to the floor, about 3.
Yeah.
I've got this thing to try and keep in shape, and you're right. I'm in great shape for my age. Thank you. But he was saying that earlier. We didn't want to put that in the show. It seems self-serving. I have a vibrating platform I stand on. You heard about these things?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
What happens? I don't understand.
It just sort of shakes you up a bit. I don't know if it does any good, obviously not.
And that's supposed to keep you fit?
Well, it's meant to keep you fit.
Is that good for your internal organs?
Probably not. And I tell you what, you break wind copiously.
Do you?
But I get the feeling, unlike the rest of us, you probably don't have a major flatulent problem. You don't... If you're at home with Katie and you break wind, do you fan the duvet like the rest of us do? Or is it Mission Impossible 3, lockdown? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It happens to all of us, to the best of... So, I always fan it. Get it out. Do you fan or do you lock down? Lee, you're definitely a fanner, aren't you?
I'm a terrorist farter. I do it out in the open and no one knows.
Stephen?
Not here.
Okay. Now, serious. Let's change the mood here because I want to talk about something which I saw last week, enjoyed tremendously, ladies and gentlemen. The new movie Valkyrie. You know, and this was... When did you start making this? This was about 2 years ago that
I first read it about 2 years ago.
Okay, because I knew about the story of this man a little bit. I'd studied history years ago, and I knew there were a number
I didn't know
of
the
attempts.
story at all.
Okay. So who came to you with this idea? When did you first get excited by it?
Chris McQuarrie, the writer who wrote Usual Suspects.
Great writer,
and
terrific
Bryan
writer.
Singer and Bryan Singer, who did Superman, X-Men, and Usual Suspects, and they came to me with the story, and I read it, and I thought this is a great suspense thriller. I remember putting it down and thinking, is this true? And I sat down with him and found out these actual events really occurred, and this man lived, and it was astonishing. I was astonished, actually.
Because he was involved in more than one attempt, or at least in more than one plot.
He was involved in the plot. I mean, it really reads like a suspense thriller, and the film is told in the classic sense of this kind of filmmaking, this kind of filmmaking, where it's set in World War II, but I think the themes are also they're ageless, they're timeless, about rising up against such oppression and dictatorships. And it's a very human story, but I found it very moving.
It's remarkable how much you actually look like this man. And you must say, there's a photograph. Look, there's a photograph, the profile of Tom, and there's Klaus von Stauffenberg on the left there. There's a real similarity there. I mean, that's quite uncanny, isn't it?
Yeah, when he showed me today, my nose is a little different, chin. And, yeah,
well, you're not quite as good looking as he was, but you're very... Then let me ask you about when you're playing a character from that period of German history. You're playing someone who was a member of the Nazi Party, a Nazi soldier. When you're preparing for that part, even today, I imagine, when you're putting on the clothes that character, but even today, the Nazi uniform, it has a certain power that comes with it. It's it's a shocking thing.
It was creepy the first time.
And it must be strange.
It was creepy the first time I put it on. It came in, and there's been a fascination. My whole life, I've had a real fascination with World War II, and of course, I saw, The World at War, narrated by Laurence Olivier.
What a great series.
Yeah, it's just an incredible series. And just all of a sudden, there's the first uniform that I did. I was at my office, and we were all around and to try it on. And it was, you know, it's just, yeah, it has a power to it.
It must be peculiar.
Yeah, it was very peculiar. But also what helped is that what this man stood for, I greatly admire him. And he was someone who opposed Hitler. Actually, you know, even as early as 1938, someone's got to shoot that bastard. And I found it just very compelling.
At what point do you decide, or the director or someone, decide on how you're going to play the characters? Because you're playing Germans. Sometimes you see movies in which people affect a German accent when they're doing the role. Other times they play it with their own accents, which is the route you went down. Were discussions held? Did you try out accents before?
Spent a lot of time going through it. How are we going to approach it? But it's also, this is a broad audience film. And I think that when you look at those kinds of pictures where if we're going around affecting German accents, where we're in Germany, we also thought, well, why don't we all just speak German?
Yeah.
You know, so we just, you know, did it that way, and Brian, I think it was the right choice.
Do you like?
So I start out. I speak German at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, when was that you speaking?
Yeah, that was me speaking German at the beginning of the film because it really will want to take the audience and bring them into this world in this time period, so that you hear me speaking German as I'm writing in my journal.
It's a very clever device.
Yeah.
So you learned a little bit of German, or a lot of German?
Yep, I learned German. Yeah.
So you can actually just back and do
What? What language are you speaking?
Eine kleine Nachtmusik. You actually can speak, you could conversationalise with the German?
I can understand more, and I can speak a few words.
Stephen,
a lot of time
you
there.
speak a bit of German, don't you? Is this correct?
Ja, ein paar,
Yes.
ein bisschen.
Is that French?
Lee's using...
French?
I don't know what it was, but Lee's now doing Morse code at us. He thinks he's...
He can Morse code in German.
But I love the German... Yeah.
It's excellent.
Ja.
Yeah, he sounds
Beautiful
I
language.
understand what he said.
It's a beautiful, but I like to hear English spoken with a German accent. I like to speak this way sometimes just for fun at home. Do you ever speak this way at home for fun? Maybe if someone phoned you on the telephone, hello, would you like to upgrade your service or two? You say, no, what is this? Tom Cruise not here now. No, you come from somewhere else. I don't know where.
Another country.
But you ever do that? Of course you don't.
No.
You've got to loosen up and have a bit more
Yeah, I
fun.
gotta have it, yeah.
Never mind all this riding Steve McQueen's bike and flying your plane. Just kick back with an accent. I love Valkyrie. I want you to see this in some fantastic performances. I tell you who you know, everyone is good in it.
Great
Bill,
English
Bill
cast.
Nye
Bill
is
Nye
great.
is fantastic.
Yeah, and also Tom
Wilkinson.
Hollander.
Hollander.
No,
Kenneth
Wilkinson.
Branagh.
Yeah, fantastic
Yeah,
performances.
Hollander, Wilkinson. We got all the...
And the guy who plays Hitler as well. I mean, you know, he looks enough like him.
Yeah.
He's not on screen that much, but it's a difficult role to
creepy.
cast.
We shot at locations where these people were also.
So did you shoot? You shot in Berlin. You shot in Munich.
We shot in Berlin, in the houses where they were, and in locations at the end of the film where it actually took place, and also all the airplanes. Of course, I love flying in airplanes. So all the airplanes are real, and tanks are real.
It's a tremendous.
I got to do a strafing run on a Panzer Division.
Let's have a look at this. This is Tom and the rest of the guys in Valkyrie. Look at this. There you go, Valkyrie. Got Tom Cruise. We're trying to kill Hitler. What more do you want?
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler. Kill Hitler.
Okay, Tom, before you go, here's the thing I want to say. Did you see Tropic of Thunder, ladies and gentlemen? Did you see the film Tropic Thunder, it's just called?
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Great film, hilarious film, and, you know, very rare that someone in a small part just about steals the movie. And there's a movie chock full of fabulous performances. But Stephen mentioned it earlier on, that clip where you come on as the actor Len Grossman, is it?
Yeah, Les Grossman.
Is quite remarkable.
Thank you.
I knew you'd done a bit of comedy. I hadn't thought of you being kind of that gung-ho to join in. How did the whole look of this guy come about?
Actually, I was working on a script with Ben, and you know, we started talking about it. I said, you know, you got to have a studio head, and he came back and said, you know, read this, and I said, oh, I got to play this character. But I said, but I've got to have fat hands, and I said, I want to dance. Why? So he kind of looked at, I don't know. You know, when you're working on characters, sometimes you just get ideas. And so we worked on the test, and I showed him how I wanted to dance, and we just played.
The hands are kind of disgusting. The hairiness as well.
Yeah,
if there's anyone at home who looks just like him, I apologise for saying this, but it's a revolting-looking appearance.
Well, he doesn't think so. Les doesn't think so.
He thinks he's a player.
He is a player. Player?
Once again, did you work out this dance at home? Do you have professional help with this? Or
No, I just did. We just started dancing. I just started playing. You know, I just started dancing when you know, in the makeup test, I was like, look, you know, this is how I think, you know, he's going to want to move. And you just started, you know, just playing. And he cut it to a piece of music, so we just ad-libbed and played around.
So you weren't playing that music at the time?
No, in the makeup test they didn't, but when we were
Okay.
shooting, he played this piece.
It's Flo Rida, isn't it?
Yeah,
the guy's
Flo
name?
Rida, yeah.
Do you like to dance when you go out?
Yeah, I like it. I like dancing.
Do you like to sing?
Yeah, I love to sing. Okay. I love to sing. I love to sing and dance.
Okay, let's have a look. This is, if you didn't see it, then you're really going to want to see it now. It's just out on DVD. It's a great fun film. This is Tom in Tropic Thunder.
The universe is talking.
Les Grossman.
That film is outrageous.
So that
It was
could
so
well,
much fun.
that could well be like a defining performance for you.
I love
now.
it. It's so a great character to play.
I'd like to see him in his own movie.
You know, we're kind of talking about it. Come up with a
Wow.
Les Grossman character.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
horrible.
Maybe if I do a talk show host as Les Grossman, will you come on my show? We're not going to be competing. Mine will be in America. No. What about a film?
I would love to. I will be there. Hey, you've got to come back on the show. Will you come back on the show
Thank you.
sometime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
It's always
Tom
great,
Cruise.
Jonathan.
Thank you to Tom Cruise. And of course, Mr. Lee Evans and Stephen Fry for being such great guests tonight. Thank you for being here. It's a real pleasure. Next week, my guest on the show will be actor and comedian Eddie Izzard with the
Yeah,
amazing...
Eddie.
The amazing Glenn Close will be here.
Glenn Close.
Yep. Captain Kirk himself, William Shatner.
Excellent.
And the lovely Lily Allen will be chatting and singing.
Fantastic.
Leaving the applause, but now...